just going to look at this idea of symmetry and odd functions. Now, the formal definition for an odd function negative x is equal to the negative of a function x. That also ties in with what we did on Friday, because if you move that negative over, you end up with function x equals negative function negative x, and that explains the rotational symmetry of an odd function. So it has point symmetry or rotational symmetry about the origin. Spin it 180 degrees, the picture will look exactly the same. So a good example of that, well, y equals x cubed is a classic. The hyperbola, y equals 1 on x. Any polynomial where all the powers are odd will be an odd function. So let's actually prove it. Now, to prove it's not good enough to say, oh look, the powers are odd, therefore it's an odd function. But that's not a proof. We have to satisfy our rule. So we know function x is x cubed plus x to the 7. So let's have a look at what function negative x is. Sub in negative x. But if I cube a negative, or raise a negative to the power of 7 for that matter, they will become negative. So we get negative x cubed minus x to the 7, which I could factorise to be minus x cubed plus x to the 7, which was what we defined function x to be. So it satisfies our rule, function negative x equals negative function x. Well, it's odd functions, even functions then. So that's where function negative x is equal to function x. And that one has line symmetry. So the axis of symmetry is the y-axis. So x squared, our parabola, x squared plus 4. Shifted up 4, it's still got that symmetry. In fact, any polynomial where the powers are even. Now, a constant can be considered as a polynomial where the power's even. I mean, the power 0. Is 0 an even number? Well, it's more likely to be an even number than it is an odd number. So let's go and prove x squared plus 4 is indeed an even function. So function x is x squared plus 4. So function negative x becomes negative x squared, but square a negative number, it becomes positive. So x squared plus 4, and that is what function x is. So yes, it is an even function. So why is that useful? Well, if you're drawing a sketch and you notice it's an even function or an odd function, then really you only have to draw half of the sketch and then reflect it or rotate it depending on whether it's an odd or an even function. So it can save you some time. All right, 4C.